Lights, camera,
Rolling.
action.
Welcome to my podcast, Let's Talk About Verticals, a place where secrets are spilled, stories unfold, and the mysterious world of verticals is revealed in all its glory. Behind the scenes, oh yes. Exclusive insights, absolutely. Eccentric characters, you bet. So pull up a chair, pour yourself something suspiciously strong, and prepare for a conversation you didn't know you needed. So welcome to the podcast Let's Talk About Verticals. And now, let's talk.
And action. Right?
Welcome to my podcast, Let's Talk About Verticals. And today with a guest, I told him that I would love to have him as my grandpa because every vertical I saw with him, he was playing a grandpa, a really lovely one. And I'm really happy to have him now in my podcast. And I said hello to Los Angeles. And I give a big shout out to the loveliest grandfather I can imagine, probably, to John Henry Richardson. Hello, John. How are you doing?
Auf Wiedersehen. Good to see you.
Yeah, I never had a grandpa. Both of my grandpas died before I was born. And I only recognize or get in touch with one of my grandpa's brother. And he was such a lovely old man. And I always said, when my grandpa was like him, I would love to see him. But I didn't know both of mine. One of my grandfathers died exactly 60 years before I was born, very young. Yeah. So we have a little bit in common, my granddad and I, but it's only one day in life. So, yeah. But to be honest, since you're playing vertical, did you ever play another role than a grandpa in one of your verticals?
Well, I play fathers.
But also grandfathers.
I always think that's wonderful. If the lead is 25 and I'm the father, I said, all right, okay, I'm still holding.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Some people get really late parents, so why not?
No, if you look at the breakdowns, if you look at the casting notices, casting notices are always very, I guess you could say, stereotypical, because there's a young lead that's the protagonist, and then there's a young leads and co-stars that they're the antagonist, and then there's someone in the middle that's the catalyst, and that's how it's constructed. And all we are is we're the character actors that usually deliver the story, right? The hard story, because nobody likes seeing heroes or heroines talk about themselves. It's far more interesting to have a grandpa tell you about them.
Yeah, and always you need a grandpa or a grandmother who tells you what you have to do.
Yeah.
The classic.
And sooner or later they do. They wind up coming back. What do we do? And they wind up having respect for their elders, and the elders give them the message. Even though the stories aren't about elders, they certainly add an ingredient that are vital. So I'm having a great time of it. I don't like playing dying patriarchs, though.
Yeah, okay. I understand. How many verticals did you do so far? You said it to me last time, but I forgot.
I think around 32, but about 15 more that I wasn't able to do because of schedule conflicts. Because they come up so fast, Michaela. They come up so fast.
When did you start? When did you do your first vertical?
I think in around August of 2023 was my first.
So you you hopped on from the very first beginning
right off the bat. But what's interesting is when I was in Taiwan shooting a TV series called Mom Don't Do That for Netflix, everybody was on their cell phones, watching their cell phones. I thought, is this a soccer game? Some national soccer game. No, it's Verdi's, and they're all watching them and
In
laughing and being
Taiwan.
engaged. Oh yeah, it was
Okay.
huge. And I said, okay, it's gonna get across the big drink to California because it
Did you
has.
know there already that this will hit America as well?
Well, as soon as you look at it, you say, yeah, so much of it has to do with you knowing the history of film
Uh-huh.
and Hollywood, right? They
Yeah.
had silent films, and then someone says, we can make them talk. And they said, who wants to hear actors talk? Which was a dumb thing, but it certainly does depict the times. They loved to not know what the actor voice was, see the subtitles on the screen, and they would provide the voices, the audience.
Mm-hmm.
It allowed
Mm-hmm.
the audience to have a participatory, creative imagination.
Yeah, okay.
Participate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when it became talkies, they didn't have to do that anymore, but they also didn't have to read the cards in between. And a lot of actors, of course, failed because their voices were not as at all like the audiences wanted them to sound like.
Yeah. Was
And
it
so a lot
too
of
high?
careers failed.
So too
Many European actors, many
really?
European actors, who suddenly they'd hear the strong Dutch or German or Italian
Yes.
accent. What? Anyway, and then the same thing happened with television. With television, it was, ooh, what's this terrible little threat? And the big studios thought of it as the enemy before they realized, oh no, it's just another product base. It's
Yeah, that's true.
another place for us as manufacturers to create new product. Oh, that's what we are. We're manufacturers. And that's really what studios were.
Yeah.
Now they're buying other people's manufacturing. They're buying indie films and funding indie and private labeling indie films because they no longer know how to make lower budget films. They don't know how to make low
Uh,
budget, you know?
yeah. So you hopped on the vertical trend nearly from the beginning in the US.
Pretty much. Pretty
Do
much.
you remember how your first vertical shoot was? Were you kind of confused how fast this is going and how different it is to doing a horizontal or a TV show?
Well, it's purely, it's purely format, Michaela, as far as the material and how you play it and the directing and the acting, it goes back, what we're doing now goes back to the direct to video phase. Remember the late 80s, 90s, when everybody went to video stores,
Yes,
Blockbuster, and they got
yes,
VHS. Okay.
yes.
Back then, we knocked out product fast because it never had to be laid out for the big screen. It was always going to be the
Mm-hmm.
small screen.
Yeah.
So people were used to now watching movies first time on their televisions. So our mindset has already gone from this into this. And now
Okay.
we're in here watching movies. Now it's a whole different thing, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But
Absolutely.
it's new technology, and technology will always dictate art.
Yeah,
And we
that's
have
true. I
we have to
studied
get used to
business
that.
informatics, you know? I
Yeah.
studied business informatics. And as fast as in the informatics area changes happen, you cannot sometimes imagine how
Yeah.
fast it's
Yeah.
all it's different, it changed again. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I started recording with the VHS.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah. There you go.
my
There you go.
students don't even know what a VHS is or what's a cassette to put
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
a cassette
Or where to
recorder.
play it.
Yeah, or what a
Yeah.
Walkman was.
Yeah.
No
Or
one,
remember,
do, no
or
one
remember
does.
laser discs.
Yeah, no one does know it. Or the first discs you put in a computer, before
Floppy
this.
disk. Big
Yes,
fat floppy disk.
yes. I
We
started with
sound so
that.
old. Let's change the subject. We sound too old.
No, it's nostalgic, not old. Vintage. Vintage is the
Vintage.
new traditional.
That's
You
true.
know,
Or classic. It's a
yeah,
classic. Yeah.
classic never. To be honest, I like this really period of time because that was also the time where you didn't have a handy, where you cannot make a video, where you get all the memories here in your brain and not
Mm.
in some cell phone because it's so common to make photos. Go to a concert, everywhere is a handy in the air because they are all filming. They don't enjoy the concert by seeing and hearing
Yeah.
it because
Yeah.
they were also concentrated to their smartphones to
Yeah.
make a video. And
And here's the funny part of that. When you go to a concert, like I went to see Chicago night before last at Hollywood Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, when they're recording it, are doing it like that.
Yeah.
But it's a horizontal show.
Yeah.
You see, but you can get closer to them if it's horizontal, but they
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Because they're just trained now and they don't think about it. They just automatically
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
verticals.
Yeah.
So I'd say verticals came along at the right time. If they came 3, 4 years earlier, maybe we wouldn't have been ready for them.
What do you
But they came
think?
after COVID and we were looking for new
Yeah,
things.
yeah, that's
Perfect time.
true. What do you think will be some improvements in the vertical industry? But it's because I think it's still at the beginning with this
Yeah.
whole vertical space.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well,
What kind of improvements will come the next years to make it more attractive, special? I don't know.
uh, I was invited to be a co-star in a new vertical slash horizontal film. And this is
Vertical
where it shoots
slash.
in both formats. So
Okay.
when you're watching it on your phone, you can push a button and go back to horizontal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. And I thought that's what's going to happen because the trouble with verticals is everything happens in a doorway,
Yes.
in
Yes.
a window. And
Yeah.
there's no establishing shots. There's no beautiful, wide master shots of showing off the real estate. You
Mm-hmm.
can't move the cameras all that much. You got to kind of move them slowly because if this is a visual, you
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 don't
can't
have
whip
much.
pan. You
Yeah.
got to go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going
Yeah.
to come over here. And so, basically, as an actor, most of these. The dictates come from China. They kind of created the whole animal, the whole beef, and they gave us the ingredients, and they basically advise us you should play it and shoot it the same way as we do here,
Mm-hmm.
because they've made the mistakes and they've ironed out all the little wrinkles.
Yeah. Yeah.
And basically, if I'm working oftentimes with a Chinese director, he will say, "Okay, there's your mark. Say your lines." And I said, "Okay, can I move into that? Can I turn? No, you're there. You're
Nope.
there because here's the box." Now,
Yeah.
I still think the box is interesting enough to move into it because you're taking some amount of movement and energy into the shot,
Mm-hmm.
and then the shot begins. Now you got their attention. I mean,
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
movement into a shot is almost the same as saying, "Hey, yeah," and then you start acting.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a hey. And so, but because they haven't tried that in China, they're not as ready to try it here. And so what eventually is going to happen is East has already met West, but East has not been able to absorb the Western feedback as to how we'd shoot it.
Yes. Okay.
And so we get basically kind of dictated to that, no, do this and this way and that way and that way, and that's it, right? The nice thing for actors is that they usually shoot 2 cameras at a time, sometimes as much as 4 cameras at a time. So if you and I are talking right now, there'll be a camera over there shooting me in the full, long, deep vertical
Mm-hmm.
shot, and then my close-up.
Yeah.
And they'll be
Yeah.
shooting you in the long shot and the close-up. So in one take, we get 4 different shots.
Yeah.
And the editor has it. So just offset, the editor's already editing.
Okay.
That's how fast it's. That's why they can deliver these in a month.
And that's why
30
you can
days.
shoot it in
30
seven
days.
days. And that's why you can
Yeah.
shoot it in 7 days because you
Yeah,
don't
the
have
whole
so
thing
many
in and
cuts.
out between prep and everything else is like 60 days. So it's
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing that they can crank out that much product and have it look as good as it does. Because it looks as good as anything on television.
Yeah. Surely. And how did you get into the vertical? Did you even know on your first vertical shoot what you are going to do?
Well, I no, I knew because of watching China. And
Okay.
being an actor, now I'm watching, okay, so how are the actors living in this frame? How are they
Yes.
doing? You know,
Yes.
and all eye lines shift, for instance, in theater, right? If I'm on a stage and I'm going to walk out on the apron of the stage, I'm going to, and I say, what a beautiful morning, I'm going to do this. Ah, what a beautiful morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in film, it's the stage, you hear, ah, what a beautiful morning. See how much
Yeah.
closer
Yeah.
this,
It's
you
it's
don't do
closer.
this,
Yeah.
right? Because, well, who
Yeah.
wants to see that, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
in verticals, it's even narrower. So now when I come out, it's Oh, what a beautiful morning.
Yeah, and you
All
really,
right there. So
yeah.
you get used to thinking in terms of vertical just as doesn't mean this. It means everything moving toward the camera, almost as if you're operating in a tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's down. The entire proscenium arch, all of the audiences, all millions of them are in this little window
Was
with
it
us.
easy to switch in your first vertical from the big one to the
Oh, it's
small?
very easy. Very, very easy because you're always adjusting for the lens anyway.
Okay.
You
No,
know,
because
close-up lens, you're going to be different in a close-up lens than you are going to be in a, you
yeah.
know,
No, because
medium.
some actors told me that it was really difficult not to move out of the picture and
Yeah. Yeah.
to keep this small picture
Yeah.
for this vertical filming. So
Well,
I think
what I did is I went off screen between takes and watched what it looked like on
okay.
the monitors.
So you got all
The
the feeling
monitors are
for
your
it.
teacher. The monitors are your teacher. Now, some directors won't let the actors look at the monitors.
Why not?
Well, because they're afraid that the actors will adjust their performances,
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
change their performances. Oh, I don't like what I'm doing. I'm not going to be as angry next time. You know, it's like, don't let them look at the monitors. But for professionals who've been doing it for a long time, the monitor is a big help. You know, one of the first questions you ask when you're on camera, and they say, okay, we're gonna do your medium close, your close shot, or your close up. Close
Mm-hmm.
shot and close up are two different things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I just say, okay, what's my frame? I'll put my hand, where's my frame? Right there. Okay, so that's a medium close shot.
Yes.
That's a close shot. It's because it has some shoulders in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a close up. So you know how to adjust it based on accepted shots and terms that we've always used.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they haven't abandoned the way they make films. We basically make the films the same and we act the same, but we're just in a different frame. The frame has changed.
Okay. Because I think it's very. Do you? Other question.
Mhm.
Did you go back to theater or something like this when you started verticals to keep the balance, to have something which is not so shortened in time, not so fully overload on a day,
Yeah.
to keep the balance, to get get not weirdo because of this 7 day straight, yeah, 12
Yeah,
hours,
that's a great
15
question. Yes.
pages.
Yeah. And the answer is absolutely. You need to. You
Otherwise
need
you
to.
get a
You
kind
can't
of,
just do verdi, 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 verdi.
yeah,
Um, because again, you know, actors are expected to bring invention into their
yes,
performance. And if you
yes.
have a whole room to work in, then you can do some movement and action and activities that add energy to your character that can reveal things about you without dialogue,
Mm.
you know. And so learning to be able to work subtextually is very, very important. But the narrower the frame and the more locked in your feet are and the less you can do, it's hard to do stuff like that,
Yeah, I think so.
you know. So you got to find ways to keep it active and moving. The audience doesn't want to see a static frame. They want to see
Hmm.
movement.
Yeah, although the
So
frame is small, they
you
want
know,
to see.
but I'll tell you, the
And
movement can work where I can be back here. Now, right now, you and I are talking, and you say something to me, and I lean in. Now, a dramatic moment happens here, doesn't it?
the dramatic moment.
Right? Like, I want to tell you something, Joe. What? I'm sleeping with your wife. You know, it's like you don't want to sit back here. I want to tell you something, Joe. I'm sleeping with your wife. That didn't
Yeah,
mean,
then it's
you know,
not so
but hey,
impressive.
Joe, I
Yeah.
want to tell you something. What's that, John? I'm sleeping with your wife. Oh, right in my face. And you got
Yeah.
to be in their face because it's such a small screen, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
But
it's fun, really. It's all fun
yeah,
creating this way.
it's sometimes also fun to watch. But
Hmm.
to be honest, I started watching in 2023 Vertical, so
Yeah,
also really from the beginning.
yeah.
But sometimes the quality was really shitty. Sound quality was shitty. I did some acting things in Germany too, so I'm not so totally new to this business. But sometimes you see that the actors are feeling not comfortable in this small
Yeah.
scene, and there were a lot of it in the beginning, where I was not sure if it's gonna improve so that the roles seems believable played. You know what I mean? So it was sometimes not. Yeah, I know it's not realistic. It's a vertical. It's kind of fairy tale, but the fairy tale story was not realistic acted. So it was kind of weird. That improved,
Yes.
but sometimes there are still verticals which are exhausting to watch because
What makes them, what type or what genre? Is there a particular genre that you're talking about that are hard to watch, or the style of it or the way it's being made, done?
for me it's hard to watch when they making voiceovers
Oh,
after shooting
yeah.
and it doesn't fit to the actor's face or something like
In real
this.
time. Yeah. Right.
Yes, that's
Right.
really so. No, no, no. And for me, I cannot watch the Asian verticals where the origin language is China, because for me it's exhausting to watch verticals with subtitles.
No, God, yeah. Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Then I
Yeah,
cannot
and these are
watch
talkie
and
shows. Yeah, these
yeah.
shows are like soap operas. There's a lot of gab.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, there are some verticals which were synchronized to German, but it's a really bad. So I don't watch it only in English without subtitles, without anyone, so that I can focus on watching it and not
Yeah.
reading it. And I don't know, no, it's not genre specific, which are exhausting. It's more kind of, sometimes you can exactly see when the actors are doing it only for a job. You know what I mean? When they are not totally in their role or they cannot feel the role, you see it. And then for me, it's kind of, oh, come on, were you forced to do it or what? So,
Well, one of the things that you're actually seeing may be part of the problem of the beginning of these when we first brought them up is Chinese casting directors, Chinese production companies, Chinese producers, Chinese investors.
mhm.
They know what they like. Well, they all love Americans because everybody over there wants to be Americanized, but they want to be Americanized their way in their own country. You see it in
Ah,
Germany, you see it in France, you see it in England, you see it everywhere, really, right?
yeah.
The Americanization, right? The cool, hip, easygoing, just, methodically casual guy.
Yes.
Um, Nothing really casual about it. It took him an hour to figure out what to wear to make it look like he didn't think about what to wear, you know. But but one of the problems that exists with that at the beginning is that they tended to hire beautiful models to play these roles, and they didn't care if they could act or not because they were going to rip out their voices and use Mandarin anyway. So we want six-pack abs, We
Yeah.
don't want we don't want Shakespeare. So that's the thing. And now that we have a market here, an audience here, and the audience is going forth in ripple effect to Europe and other places. Um, the way we do it is going to have to take some sort of hold. But as long as they're holding the strong, so many of the scripts are so similar because they've been AI'd through and they're formulaic and they just change up the what if this happens and that. It's like a crazy quilt or a puzzle that they can now put together. Let's change that and put that in. But it's all basically formulas, and the formulas are very familiar formulas.
Hmm.
And they're familiar going in because they come from soap operas.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically, we're watching, what would you call it, new age soap operas of some sort. They talk sexy, but they never really show anything.
Yeah.
I've never seen a bare ass or a bare breast anywhere in a Verdi. And
Nope.
yet, if you go to Europe, you can see those in commercials. So yeah, but in China you don't. In China you don't. So you see a lot of those that the ethos are playing here. So we got to find a way to meet in the middle. And some of these companies that come from China, they're making a film and they got 1 billion people that will watch it in China.
Yeah.
They only have millions in America. So that's a second concern to them. But we know that we want a foothold here for verticals as well, and that benefits them. That benefits the others in Asia that are making in South Korea and in Japan. It benefits everybody. But it's always going to be different. It's always going to be different based on your particular um, community. German films aren't the same as French films, and that's a broad generalization.
Yeah,
No, the,
yeah,
the
yeah,
approach is different.
yeah,
Chesscore
absolutely.
is a whole different thing. So anyway, it's all fascinating right now because there's something going on here that's new,
Yeah,
and we
absolutely.
don't know exactly where it's going to go, but it's exciting to be a part of it.
I talked to Dan Lowenstein. He don't want to talk Steen. He's from UK and he's a director. And he told me that they are trying to create and found a new platform in the UK so that they can be a little bit more flexible to do
Yeah,
what the European market needs in this vertical space. So I'm really excited about that because
yeah.
I had the feelings that in the last weeks or month, when I started watching verticals, I didn't see any kind of stories on Instagram. Oh, I fly to Europe to shoot a vertical there. And in the last weeks or month, I saw a lot of stories from the actors who goes to Lithuania, to UK to shoot. Italy is now really upgrowing for shooting. Turkey. And I think it's getting more and more in Europe to do this verticals thing. Maybe then it got also a bit of more and more Europe influence
Mhm. And
in
that's what we
the
want.
yeah. I'm really excited about that. And I hope that they will shoot a vertical also in France, for example, because the landscapes and so the
Yeah,
area is really nice in France
yeah,
also for
yes.
shooting it. But for me, I was really surprised when I heard that it's cheaper to shoot a vertical in Europe and fly all the actors over from Los Angeles and so on than shooting a vertical in Los Angeles.
I don't know. I can't answer that. It's really really based on what they get in the way of airfare and lodging. You know,
Yes,
because
but
they don't have to pay the permits. They can get beautiful castles for next to nothing because the countries just want more film to come to them. I mean, it's all about commerce anyway, isn't it? In
have
the
you
end,
shot the vertical in Europe?
not yet. I'm dying to though. I would love to, but it's hard to leave. It's hard to leave Los Angeles to shoot anyway because there's so much of it here.
Yeah, but New York vertical or Vancouver or where is it also shot? Atlanta?
Well, yeah, they're shooting all over, but once again, for instance, the likelihood of a New York vertical production company hiring an actor out of Hollywood when they have New York,
Hmm.
why would they? Unless you have a really a unique look or style, I know we exactly need him.
So you did all your 132 verticals in LA?
Yeah, yeah. And outlying areas, yeah.
Yeah,
Beautiful mansions everywhere, beautiful mansions.
not in China one or Vietnam or
No, not yet. And I've shot a lot of films, a lot of TV series in China. I love working in China.
I
And
never
Taiwan
been to.
especially, I love working in. But once again, they generally like to have Chinese actors shooting in America.
That's stupid.
No, think about it. Think about it. It's like seeing, well, it's like Europe. It's like National Lampoon's European Vacation. Chevy Chase and the family. Now where are they? Now they're at the Stonehenge. Okay. No, that's funny.
Yeah.
So I think they do like the idea of seeing their folks in the American setting,
Yeah, okay. That makes
right?
sense. Yeah.
Or they like to see Americans in the Chinese setting
Hmm.
because it's got the great fish out of water thing going for it.
I would love to see a vertical shot in Scotland or Ireland.
God, yeah, yeah. The production value is what's so amazing in Europe, all throughout Europe, and really doesn't cost. When I was shooting, I shot a film a few years back, and I was in 7 different countries in Europe shooting. And I went from
Really?
country to, yeah, and I shot in Amsterdam. I shot it in Stuttgart during Volksfest. So I went to the film. They all have film commissions, and the film commissions are usually nice ladies that are someone's secretary. Oh, and put on the film commission hat now. Okay, yeah, I'm that film. Um, and they say, okay, what do you have? And in the case of me, I was doing all handheld. I didn't have a big crew. I had, and they said, oh, that's fine. Go ahead. Just make sure that you don't have any lines or cables in anybody's way. You're not upsetting traffic. If you're shooting in a restaurant, that you get in and out soon so it doesn't stop the patrons from eating and moving on because
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want to come on, finish the meal. Don't watch the movie, lady. We need that seat, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
We
I
need
know.
somebody in that booth.
The
So
Germans are
that was
really
all it took.
strict in that.
Yeah. So I shot in some of the, I mean, I shot on the Charles Bridge in Ukraine and in Prague. And that's like a $30,000 location.
Yeah.
If a studio goes in, right? If you
Hmm.
see a James Bond running across that bridge,
Yeah,
it's going to
yeah.
cost 30 grand, But we get it for free.
Ah, that's fine.
So we can come in under the radar.
Yeah, but do you think producing verticals is getting more expensive than it was in the beginning?
I don't think it's getting more expensive, but I think what's happening is now because there's so many companies making them,
Hmm.
there's competition.
Okay.
And they say, let's throw a little more money in here. Let's get that camera. Let's get those prime lenses, right?
Ah, okay. So they
Yeah,
try up to keep the
let's shoot on this
quality up.
location. Yeah, let's do that great effect with the plane. Yeah, that's why the price goes up. What I have noticed is the rate of pay for actors has gone up quite a bit since
Uh-huh.
2 years ago.
Yeah, Nick Ritako had an helicopter in his vertical in the
There
last
you
one.
go.
Yeah.
There you-
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. But question is, when there is a vertical
yeah,
and it's sold to two or three different platforms, exactly the same vertical,
yeah.
and on every platform it's a big shot. But you as an actor did only get paid once, don't you?
Well, they don't give residuals. You're talking about residuals?
Yes.
Yeah. No, we don't get residuals in Verdes. But again, that goes back to the direct to video phase. Remember, we were the Screen Actors Guild and the Writers Guild and the Directors Guild. They were
Mm-hmm.
lobbying hard because they say these people are renting our videos every weekend. We don't get any money.
Mm-hmm.
And the distributors, the exhibitors, and they all said, we just can't keep track of the numbers because they're individual retailers doing it. So we can't, sorry, we can't give residuals. They really didn't work for us very hard. And now the same thing's happening. It just
Yeah.
keeps happening
Okay.
with these new technologies. DVDs came along, right?
Yeah.
Blu-ray came along. They can't
Yeah.
keep track of how many people are renting or just looking at
Yes.
them,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know? And even if they're buying them, it's not the same as exhibiting them at a theater where there's a box office. Ah, we all get to see box office receipts. Now we know.
Mm-mm.
But all these other areas they're selling them are lost areas. Like Amazon sells videos all the time, but there's no way for the studios to keep track of them,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
So we kind of get lost in the shuffle and fall between the cracks as
What's
actors.
what's the thing that keeps you addicted to do vertical shots? Isn't it really exhausting to do one when it also shorten in time and something?
It's well, addicted doesn't describe it. I'm not addicted to them. I enjoy them. There's some that I love, some that I don't like as much, but none that I've hated. I've never had any altercations with directors or actors.
Hmm.
Everything. I think everybody's just since COVID, everybody's just so happy to be working. You know,
Yes, yes.
I've been blessed. I always work. I always work. But the verticals came along and now they're so frequent that they're the first ones to bid. Johnny, available on these dates? Well, yeah, I was kind of looking for another. Oh, all right, I'll do it.
Yeah,
So it's hard for the other films to squeeze in. Like I just booked a film that's shooting in North Carolina, and I'm
yes.
really, really excited about it. And it's going to be shot in March.
Okay.
So I know I'm locked in for about
Yeah,
3 weeks in March, right
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but these verticals, they come up quickly, they cast quickly, they shoot quickly, and they're released quickly. It's
Hmm.
really super saturation entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah, but sometimes there are so many new shows
Hmm.
dropping, and sometimes you don't know what to watch first because there were
No.
15 new shows, and
Right.
then sometimes on other platforms they are releasing as new show a show which was shown on the other
Yeah.
platform 3 months ago.
Yeah, they're just
So
saying it's new on our platform.
yes.
Yeah.
And you thought, hey, that's not new. That's an old
Yeah.
one. I know this one.
Well,
So,
these platforms, they license the
mhm.
film. They don't buy them. They license them for streaming.
Okay.
And then when it's all over, it's not like they have a bunch of film in a vault anywhere, like they used to
No?
have. You got those cans of 35? Yeah, here's one. We don't do any of that stuff anymore. Now it's a link, it's
Yeah.
on a thumb drive. Here you go. What is this? Gone with the Wind. It's a 4-hour film right there. Enjoy it. Right? It's crazy how technology's changed it all.
Yeah, but it's not so bad, to be
No, it isn't. It
honest.
isn't. It really, all this has to be looked upon as positive. You know,
Yeah,
every,
but yeah, go on.
no, I was gonna say the real focus of attention for all of us creatives in front of the camera is getting good scripts and not having be the same regurgitated storylines that we've done again and again and
Oh,
again.
yes. I
That's
would
one thing.
love to have this
And new
because
genres.
yeah, because when you started watching verticals from the beginning, it was the first half year, it was totally fine, but then it started to
Yeah,
again and again, other
exactly.
casts, same story, sometimes exactly the same story with two different
Same
casts.
lines. I have
Yeah.
done movies where they say, I said this line in the line. And it's not just a simple little line. Oh, that's my younger Aaron's son, he moved across the street from his college and now he has a girlfriend. Same line in the next one. They don't even
Yeah.
bother to rework it. Well, I think you're exactly right on target because yeah, at first it was wonderful
You.
seeing
Yeah,
and the lot,
absolutely.
but I've seen this, and how much is this costing me for each one of these tokens? And each time I push a button, hold on, I've seen this too, and I love him, I loved her, but so it's hard because one of the things that I think is a great benefit is you get to watch the first 10 episodes for free. So you will have known 10 episodes in, which is only 10 minutes, right? A free 10
Yeah.
minutes, a
Yeah.
free 10 minutes to watch a 70-minute show. Um, is that you say, okay, all right, Jackson's doing this and May's doing that. Ah, good, good, good. This, yeah, okay. I'm going to watch the rest of this one because hopefully they hooked you in the first 10 episodes. Because if they don't hook you in 10 episodes, forget.
Yeah, but the thing is, sometimes exactly the same story
Yeah,
with two different casts is released with 2 days apart. And I was, come on, really?
yeah,
Exactly
that
the
is a
same,
complete
the
difference.
same lines completely, but only two different casts and
Yeah,
exact the
yeah.
same stories. And I was, do they believe that I will watch exactly the same story because of the different cast? I
I
surely
think they do.
won't.
I think they do. I think they do. But for this reason, this happens a lot in Hollywood over the years, right? A lot. Let me see if I can think of an example where two very similar stories happen at the same time, and the studio said, "Hey, wait a minute, we're doing a movie about earthquakes. You can't do a movie about earthquakes now, right?"
Yeah.
But they do. So what you wind up doing with these is you say, "Ooh, it's the same story, but now these two actors who I like are doing it. Let's see their take on it. Let's see what they're
Yeah,
gonna do."
but
Right?
yeah, okay. So these are people which are focused on actors. But there are really some actors I like the acting, but
Yeah,
when they get a shitty script, sorry, the actor cannot rescue the whole shitty script.
yeah, 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 yeah.
It's uh I saw a few stories when I tuned in and thought, okay, I think this can be nice because this and that one is playing and acting in it. And I started watching, and then I thought, oh no, come on, not even a Noah Farnley can rescue this shitty story. You know what I mean? So, uh,
Now,
I
you got to ask yourself, are you the market?
I think so.
You think you are the, because
No, I think the difference between me and some other audience is I'm looking for great acting over a script. You know?
yes, you're more discerning, aren't you? You're more discerning.
Yes, yes. For me, it's not. I don't say, okay, if an Eric Germatt plays the male lead, this vertical must be good
Yeah.
because for
No,
me,
no,
everything depends on the script.
no,
A great actor cannot rescue a shitty script. That's
no, you're
fact.
right. You're right. Even
And
a good script is not a guarantee that it's going to be a good film.
yeah, that's also. And
It
the
may
thing
read
is,
great,
yeah, and the thing is, sometimes I think, no, for me, it's important that also the director did a good job, that the camera, the screening is good, that the
yeah.
sound is good. I'm a fan of a great sound because for
Sound has
me,
had a hard time, has had a
yeah,
hard time with vertical because you can't hang a boom
yeah,
anymore. You
absolutely.
got the boom pole, and because
Yeah,
you have all this headroom, so you can't hang a boom. So you can't use your film voice like ordinarily. When
mm-hmm,
I'm on film, I'm talking right about in here, right? But when
yeah,
the microphone is 4 feet above me instead of 4 inches above me, it's a
yeah,
world of difference in the voice. That's why
yeah,
you have to have a wireless mic. And
yeah,
sometimes you say, John, you got a great voice. You can go ahead and just use the boom. No, no, I got that monologue. I need them. I need that mic for the
yeah,
monologue.
yeah.
So you're fighting for a mic all the time, you know?
No,
And
but the thing,
I'm always a talky old bastard. I'm always talking. So I need.
I need a
I need
mic. No, but the thing is, for me, these points are also important. That the sound is good, that the lighting is good, that the actors are well presented in the vertical, you know,
Yeah,
and it's a combination of all this which makes a good vertical for me. So
yeah.
I think there are some people who watch verticals only to how can I say it, to be in love with the actors.
Yeah. Oh no, yeah. No, there's a lot of fantasy element there for sure.
Yeah, I think
For sure.
so. I think so. So if an vertical is not entertaining for me, I turn it off. I don't watch it till the end because
Yeah,
for me no reason to watch it till the end if something in this vertical is annoying me.
yeah.
Then I turn it off. And some other fan said to me, huh, you turn it really off? And I said, yeah, why should I watch it?
Oh,
It's not entertaining.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't watch it till the end because I cannot keep watching it. It was so exhausting, annoying, whatever. And
I feel you.
a lot
I
of them,
absolutely feel you.
a lot
I'm the
of them
same way.
say, I try always to watch it till the end.
Yeah.
No, I'm
No.
not.
Me neither. Me neither. Me neither. I went to a
Did you?
movie last night at a movie theater, the
Yes.
new Austin Butler film called um Caught Stealing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a usual kind of crime drama, happens in the streets of New York and all that stuff. But it was I watched it for the first 10 minutes and I said, I'm not enjoying this. It's a lot of gore. It's a lot of, really superficial, you know,
Mm-hmm.
effects and stuff like that, and torture. To me, torture isn't entertainment. And
No,
and by the
no,
way,
me neither.
that can lead us back into the slapping movies and verticals in a moment.
Oh,
I,
yes.
I wanted to walk away, but I just but it was the last movie that was playing at the theater, and I hadn't been in a live theater in a while. And I said, all right, I'll sit and watch it. And by the end it was okay, but I could have watched the same thing here at home in the
Mm-hmm.
privacy of my living room,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I think there's just aren't as many good movies out there. I wish there were more. I look for good scripts all the time, and it seems that there is still an art house or film festival crowd still making movies.
Okay.
But those are usually people who just got out of film school and they want to make their first film, and they know
Hmm.
that the best way to be seen is to get awards at film festivals.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So, that's one mentality. And
So
so I like to,
what kind of what's important for you to make a film good?
well, I mean, I have to have a character that I think is a good, strong character that I can do justice to,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that also hangs on there being a good plot, a good story, and all that. So it always gets down to the script. If
Yeah.
it's a really good script, but the role's not that great, I still want to do it because
Yeah.
I want to be part of a good movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be the best thing in a not so good movie isn't such a great thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So you really want to try to be at one with the quality of the film and contribute what you can to it. But I find I get that more in independent films because in studio films, you just spend too little time in front of the camera. You're just
Hmm.
waiting all day. It's a 12-hour day, sometimes a 14-hour day. You're lucky if you get to be in front of that camera 1 hour. That means
Okay.
1% of the time you're in
Yeah.
front of the camera. So what are you doing the rest of the time? You're holding in your prep, you're working on your character. Maybe you're rehearsing with the actors on the side. And if you're there long enough, you're rewriting shit because you're just bored. So they're not made for, look, movies are not made for actors.
Yeah.
They're made
Okay.
for the filmmakers,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And one of the reasons filmmakers work so hard to make the quality of their film look so good is because they want the other filmmakers to see it.
Yeah.
That's a big cause. That's a big part of it. It's a
And
big
that's
part.
not in the vertical
Reputation.
space, so
It may be. It may very well be. Look, the budgets are going up a little bit, but really what needs to be done, really what needs to be done is one of the reasons this reminds me of the direct-to-video time is that you're shooting 15 pages of dialogue a day.
mm-hmm.
If you're in a major studio, you're lucky to get 3 pages a day. So 15 pages of dialogue a day.
Yeah.
Okay, so that means we need 12 hours. Okay, so we're in there. You work us for 12 hours. Fine, I'm going to go home now. But now I got to spend 3 hours memorizing my lines for
For
tomorrow.
tomorrow, yeah.
And nobody pays you for memorization. They just
Yeah.
expect you to have a photographic memory. Look at the script. Okay, got that page. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Do you
Nobody
even dream about
nobody
it
has a
at
photographic
night?
memory.
Huh? Do
Huh?
you even dream about it at night?
Yeah, yeah. Go. You see ghosting images in your
Yeah.
sleep. You know.
You cannot, while you're shooting a vertical, you cannot really switch off, or?
Well, here's one of the biggest problems with verticals, speaking from an actor's standpoint.
Yes.
I've been a teacher for all of my life, teaching on-camera technique all of my
Yeah,
life. And
yeah,
by the
yeah.
way, by the way, I think I'm going to have to now start teaching vertical acting
Yeah, maybe.
as a whole separate thing than just
New
film.
niche, yeah.
It's
Ex-
more than just the lens, right? But I've been doing this for a long time, and the problem is there's just a lot of bad actors out there,
yeah.
and just and so when you do verticals, because it all shoots so fast, what you find out with particularly the divas, well, she's a bitch. I don't care. Well, yeah, now it's just like it's bad Mean Girls.
Hmm.
It's like bad Clueless. And the trouble is these young, beautiful actors can't look at that and say, okay, she's a total diva bitch, right? So now I'm going to take that and I'm going to top that. Now you're a cartoon, and you're a cartoon that's hard to listen to. You
Yeah,
know, you
absolutely.
don't have vocal training. So squawk it is.
Yeah.
So and I don't just fault them for it. The trouble is you never have a chance to have your emotions drop in. So
Mhm.
what you have instead in a scene is mood, a lot of mood. My mood is I'm upset. My mood is I'm pensioned. My mood is, but you're not emotional. It's not deep. It's not real. And I don't care how small the screen is, the audience is right there with you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
tear better fall, and I better believe everything you're saying, or I'm going to change the channel or go
yeah,
away.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
we're not delivering the quality of performances in verticals. This is a generalization now, but
Mm.
we're not delivering the quality of acting in verticals that we can.
Okay.
But they never, hey, most of these shows, They never even do read-throughs. They never even do a table read-through. At the beginning, they always had a table read-through.
Hmm.
And then they gave notes. So, all right, now the actors can go home and make sure they don't make the wrong choices.
Yes,
Now
yes.
working in collaboration with the director before we even hit set. That's the way to work. How about a rehearsal? How about a Zoom rehearsal or two?
Yeah, yeah,
Right? But they don't do any of that stuff because they're too busy with the camera and too busy making the deadlines work. And so actors are left as a separate entity. They just expect you to come in like models in a
yeah.
commercial
Do
and
the
just hit your
job.
mark and do your thing.
Bam. Yeah,
And they rarely give direction. I rarely see directors giving direction performance, on performance.
hmm,
Um, and again, that goes back into the American Chinese thing. The American directors do direct a bit more of the actors, but still not much because everybody's up and we're shooting. There's no time then. That's why you want to rehearse because you know what? Rehearsing doesn't cost anybody anything. We're happy to rehearse.
yeah.
I'll rehearse. You made me for a half a day I'll do it for free because it's only going to make my work and our film look better.
Uh,
But they don't understand the value of that.
yeah, absolutely. But do you think they don't understand it and it's all because of the money? Time is money.
Well, some of it is is film school mentality. You know, I ran the acting department doing creating the AFA, MFA, and BFA courses in the New York Film Academy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on the film side, they didn't have any classes on directing actors.
Yes.
Isn't that a basic class everybody ought to have if you're a filmmaker? I created that class, and I was the only one that would teach that class. And I'll bet you now, because I'm not teaching there anymore, they don't have that class anymore.
Okay.
You know,
Uh,
so basically, film school directors, generally, again, that's not something they're taught, and they don't. They because of that, they devalue the contribution of the actor sometimes because
okay.
it's that performance that's going to make that scene. Nobody's going to say, you know, that scene where she broke down and she did all that. Oh, I love the lighting.
Yeah, but do
They're
you
going to say
think,
that. Did you
but do
see
you,
that camera movement? No. Wasn't that beautiful wardrobe? What? Nobody's going to talk about any of that stuff.
yes,
That's
absolutely,
periphery.
absolutely.
Oh,
But
peripheral.
do you think that all this compromise, I call it compromising,
Yeah.
is bad for the mental health of the actors because they
Well,
have,
you have to have a healthy ego and
yeah,
and a sense of confidence anyway.
yeah,
So it wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother me, you know.
yeah.
I'm very open to redirect. Um, when you read these, have you had a chance to actually read any of these vertical scripts?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to send you a couple because
Mm-hmm.
you'll see the writer, as writers will do, directs on the page, right?
Okay.
You know, he he bangs his cane on the floor and then he says the line.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, how about he just says the line, let the actor figure out how he's going to do it. Don't say it this way.
Yeah, yeah,
Because now we're stuck in result acting. Result means, oh, I need you to cry here. Okay,
yeah.
so it's no longer an organic journey to get me to that important moment because all I know is I got to cry here. So nothing up to that point is real.
So no
You're
chance for
obeying this false
improvising.
God.
So no
Yeah.
chance to improvising or to get their own soul and spirit into this acting.
Well, they're never on set, and there never is time on set. But no, it's important that it be a collaborative effort, and that
Mhm.
the first thing I do when I get a script is I cross out all stage direction, you know. He's fuming. Okay. He
Okay,
shouts.
do it.
And they write it in all capital letters with 3 exclamation marks at the end. He must want me to shout here. Yeah, but like I used to in my acting class, I would say, okay, guys, you're all up for the same role. All of you are up for the same role, and it's probably going to happen this way for you in your careers. You're going to get that one line, and maybe that
Mhm.
one line will get you your Screen Actors Guild card, okay? And the line is, I hate you, David. Okay? So
Yeah.
I go from one student, okay? I hate you, David. I hate you, David. I hate you, David. I hate you, David. And then one kid will finally say, I hate you, David.
Yeah.
He's going to get the job. Why is he going to get
Yeah.
the job? Because he didn't do the predictable, obvious thing by putting all the energy on the word hate.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I
So you
understand.
got to be able to, work outside that, get outside the cliches and the boxes, and
Yeah,
be original. And so I don't invest a lot of time in the words at all. I focus on the sense of life and the emotion in the moment. And then it doesn't matter what I do, because right now you and I are talking, and I can simply go right into to be or not to be. You
yeah.
know, that is a question, whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune or by opposing end. See, they came out of me in the moment.
Yeah.
It wasn't a recitation of a line that was already written. So you got to get, we're talking the quantum physics of acting now, not just,
Quantum physics of
not just,
acting.
no, it's the
Okay.
deep shit, man.
Enlighten me
We're
with the
getting deep now.
enlighten me with the deep ship. No, because sometimes I have the feeling that the vertical could be done a little bit better because, like I said, sometimes I'm missing the feeling that you can get touched because the actor feels the role
Yeah,
and is not doing it only for the job.
yeah, yeah,
That's I would
yeah,
love to see more improvising
yeah,
theater in the verticals.
yeah.
So so
And they
kind of
can. The format for vertical is perfect for improv because, as I say, you're getting four
yes,
shots at the same
yes.
time.
Yeah.
So the editor wouldn't have trouble editing improvisation
Mm-hmm.
in verticals. It's
Yeah.
harder when you're doing a one camera setup
No.
because if the camera's on you now and we're going to improv and we improv, that was great. Okay, let's bring the camera, bring it around to John. Now we're going to improv again. How are you going to cut the two? How are you going to cut between the two?
Mm,
You really can't.
mm.
So they have 2 to 4 setups per take, and they can do it anytime. And there may be that happening, but I know that the scripts that come from China are they want them. Some of them want them word for word, and sometimes we'll say the translation and the grammar doesn't work. Can I fix that? And they
Yeah.
will literally check in with them and make sure. Others will say, sure, fix it where you want. And I'll go to the script supervisor before we start shooting. He says, okay, I'm going to say this word instead of that because that word is not really a word that I would use.
Yeah, yeah. So we
And
need
they say,
more
cool.
scripts. So we
Yeah,
need more scripts directly from the US.
yeah. Or we need them to relax their reins over there a little
Yeah.
bit and trust us.
Yeah, okay, but
It's a
Chinese people are
collaboration.
always Chinese people. I worked with a lot of Chinese people in some
Yeah,
projects. They were always so correct, you
yeah.
know?
I love
Double,
working with the Chinese. I've always loved working with the Chinese.
yeah, but they were so over correct.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
They're-
sometimes, yeah.
Well, they were very specific about what they knew, that's for sure. They knew
Uh,
what they wanted. And sometimes they would take the time and explain why. And there was always a good reason, you know. No, I always went with the flow when I was working with the Chinese because they they are to a certain degree perfectionists and they want that moment to be right and they're going to stay in that moment till they get it. Vertis can't afford that. Verticals don't have that luxury.
mhm.
Almost every scene I do, it's 1, 2 takes at the most.
Yeah,
2 takes at the
okay,
most. Now,
okay.
I happen to like one take because I know that the first take's got something very honest and
Special.
organic,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and the second one's not going to be able to capture that,
yeah,
you know. But some actors get better with more takes.
yeah. They warm
So
up.
what happens now they're left behind a little bit. So
Yeah,
there's an expression in acting of dropping in, of where you finally, whew, you drop into it. Your sense of life, your energy, everything. You dropped into it. Now you can play the character.
yeah, and exactly that sometimes I'm missing on the screen
Yeah.
because I
Well,
think
that
that you
happens.
you can see it
Yeah.
if it
Well, that's
happens.
why when they're off camera, the actors ought to be getting together and running lines, running lines, running lines, running scenes as much as they can. Unfortunately, so much of the time they spend off camera is working on the memorization. The memorization takes up a great deal of time once you're in production.
Yeah,
That's why you try to get the script a couple of weeks before you start shooting, if you can. Memorize
yeah,
at least half the lines then. But I usually get scripts 4 days before I start shooting. It
yeah.
takes a
That's
day
really
just to
short.
break it down, and so it's you're always working uphill, but I think you're not going to be able to change it.
Yeah,
have to be respectful of it and just go with the flow. It's a culture. It's really a cultural exchange in many ways.
Yeah, I think so. I have one last question for you before I do a 5-question quickie with you, because we nearly at the end already.
5 questions. Okay.
Yeah, no, quick questions. No, my last question, not a quickie, is what do you wish as an improvement to make the verticals maybe in quality better, or for the audience better, or for the actors better? What kind of improvement you would really welcome in this
Well, for
area?
starters, I've made a few suggestions already
Yeah,
that
yeah,
so I won't go back to those. But for the most part, and it's not enough to say better scripts, because what do you mean better? I know what they mean when they say better scripts. We
yeah,
know what we mean when we say it.
yeah,
No, I think the one thing they need more than anything else is the time to do it better. See, the reason this reminds me of the direct-to-video days is in the direct-to-video days, it was guerrilla crazy shoot. And they say, now, okay, if we do 10 pages a day, we can shoot it in 2 weeks. Yeah, but if we shoot 15 pages a day, we can do it in 10 days. Oh, yeah, great, let's do that. Well, meanwhile, you're running your horses, you're wearing them out. You
yeah,
can't, it's not going to result in a better film. It's going to look hurried and it's not going to match. It's going to be just a mess overall. So these shows would be a lot better if they said, okay, we're going to do 10-page days and that's it. And that allows us 4 or 5 takes. It allows us a moment to work these moments. See, every time the DP, the director of photography, says,
yeah,
"Oh, I got a little light flare over there," they'll stop everything and wait for him to do the light flare. They
yeah.
won't do
So
that. They won't do that for performance. And the audience doesn't notice a light flare, but they notice a bad performance.
yeah,
So their priorities aren't really correct.
yeah, okay.
They
So do
should be
you
putting a
think
little more
it
priority
would
on the
be
performance.
helpful if they are going back from 7 shooting days to 10? Because mostly I think it's 7 days now for a production.
No, they all need to have more time to shoot. They just need more time to shoot, and it can't be done beyond the 12-hour day. They always make their 12-hour day because there's no such
Yeah,
thing as overtime.
yeah,
But no, they need to have more days in order to do it.
yeah. Okay, I understand.
You know, if you've got a 5-page scene with 5 people in it, that's almost a day all by itself. But when they have 3 or 4 of those scenes in one day, you're always gonna, as in all things, there's what you want, and then there's what you'll settle for,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of settling for
Yeah.
instead of getting what you want.
Oh, okay. We will see. 5 quick questions at the end. I ask it everyone I'm having. What's your
No,
favorite
no,
dish?
yes, no, and yes.
No, what's your favorite dish?
My
I
favorite,
love to
eating.
cook. Yeah, I judge people by eating.
Oh, yeah. My favorite dish, huh?
Yes.
I like how can I say it? Goulash type of thing. A pot full of all kinds of cool veggies and things, and then you keep adding to it.
Goulash is a really nice
Yeah.
German meal, a
Yes.
goulash.
And it just keeps changing as you add things to it. Yeah, I love to
Yeah,
do that. If you're a
absolutely.
bachelor and you're living alone, you want to go to the crock pot and that's it.
What do you like when you were in Germany to eat? Do you have a German favorite food?
Well, the funny thing is all the verse, all the sausages. And I was blown away by the fact that the number one sausage in Germany is now the currywurst,
Yeah.
the Indian influence on German food. I thought, I don't want curry, I want traditional German. Because I'll tell you, whenever I go to a restaurant, any place I go, a Hofbrau, the beer is so much better. And
Yeah,
the sausage is so much better.
Germany
Not
is
versus
a beer culture country.
and I can't drink American beer anymore since coming to Germany.
So you're spoiled of German beer.
I have to get back there now. Even at this moment, I want to have a German beer, and I'm not a beer drinker that much.
Yeah, but hear a lot of people from other countries that they love the German beer.
So much better. Well, you have the hops, and you have the barley, and the wonderful air, and the wonderful earth, and it's just certainly the water. You know.
Yeah, yeah, we're good water. What's your favorite film?
Oh God, that's a question so many people ask, and it's so
Yeah,
hard because there's different genres. It depends on my mood.
Yeah,
you know.
what's your favorite film at the moment?
My next one.
You know that it will be good?
Well, I'm thinking positive, and I'm going to give it as much as I can give it, as much as I've given any of my other films, the great ones and the ones that weren't as good.
Yeah.
So no, I think that yeah. I mean, more recently, for instance, one of my favorite films is a movie called Green Book. I don't know if you've seen Green Book, but it won Best Supporting Actress for Mahershala Ali, and it's
No.
based on a true story. Yeah, it's about the Deep South in the 1960s, and I could identify with that era because I'm from the South. But it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful story, and it
Yeah,
won
but
Best
I'm
Picture.
not from this area, whether from this age. So
Yeah,
for me, it's hard. What
gee,
kind
I
of
knew you
music?
wouldn't think of it, wouldn't remember, wouldn't know of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What kind of
yeah.
music do you like? What's your favorite song? What puts you in a good mood?
I love eclectic music. I love instrumentals more than vocals, and
Hmm.
I particularly like world music. Like when I was in Germany and when I was in Norway and Sweden, I picked up a lot of their
Yes.
local groups, and some of their music is just blew me away. In fact, I used a lot of it for this film that I directed while
Okay.
I was there, and it was seamless. Seamless. What Thomas D, who was one of the early like and Hending Garna and so many others, these one name groups. Of course, I can't remember any of them off the top of my head, but I bought a whole bunch of CDs when I was there.
Okay.
Just found just some because they use their traditional instruments,
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
and you can always spot the difference between a Norwegian song and a German song.
Yeah.
Instruments.
Which of your 31 verticals is your favorite? When I ask you which one should I definitely have seen of your verticals, which one you would?
I probably have about five. Um,
Okay. Shoot
I
it.
mean, yeah. Well, the first one that I really loved was Driven to Love with Noah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Noah and
saw it.
Grace Muslim.
I
Yeah,
saw
that
it.
was
Yeah,
I
I
love that,
saw
and
it.
it established the kind of father I play.
But that was a nice storyline.
It was a wonderful storyline, and I love that one. And then I really enjoyed doing the mafia film. The it was what was it? A Mafia Daddy Surprise Sextuplets, because that was a challenge because I played this badass old godfather,
Hmm.
right? And there's torture and there's beating and demeaning of women, all this shit I hate, right? But when he discovers that this woman has had a child and it's his grandchild, then he becomes redeemable at the end.
Okay.
Because if he wasn't redeemable at the end, I wouldn't take the role because I hate him at the beginning. So
Okay.
that was a fun journey. But I don't know how successful it was. But then I had like a roll on of films after that. I think Matrimony would probably be my favorite of
That
all.
was so lovely. You with the dog. You got my
Yeah,
heart with that.
Gucci, little Gucci, and Jackson, and everybody was so wonderful to work with in
Yeah,
that
and
show.
JC
Walker, everybody,
also. Yeah.
everybody.
No,
And
I
then I
love
just
this with, but you could have a better dog. Not such. Come on. I have two black labs. I have two
well, he
black
was a dog.
Labradors.
That dog belonged to our costume designer. Uh,
But a dog named Gucci was so
I
cliche.
know, I know, I know. Now the other one that I did since then was the one that is playing now about the three grandfathers, the four
I
billionaires,
love that. I love
pregnant
that.
in one night, four grandfathers.
I love that.
Because I got to play 90 years old, and that was so much fun doing just comedy in the heat of
Yeah,
summer shooting
yeah,
that.
and
Oh, it was so much fun
I
bumping
watched
into
it
walls and shit.
because you give me the advice to watch it, and
Yeah,
it was so the story was okay. It was some typical with getting pregnant and blah blah blah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
but Sam and Abigail was
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
They were
Abigail Farr.
so cute together,
They
and then
were, they were.
the trio of yours. I loved it. I really loved
We
it.
were
Yeah,
goofy, weren't we? We were goofy. We were the comic relief in a very serious story.
yeah, absolutely.
The
But
rest of it,
you were so refreshing for the story
mm,
that it's not getting this normal oldie shitty kind, you know?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
No,
that was
yeah,
really a
yeah.
nice one.
So I would like to do more roles like that and more shows. I'd like to do more comedies.
Oh yes. That was my next question. What's genre you're still kind of missing in verticals?
Oh, well, I would love film noir. I love film noir, and verticals would be perfect for film noir. And murder mysteries, playing the detective or the private eye or
Like
the,
Sherlock Holmes?
yeah, maybe. No, no, more like Philip Marlowe, you know,
Okay.
the Maltese Falcon and
Or a Miss Marple would be great.
well, there you go, exactly. The British characters are wonderful.
Yeah, a Miss Marple would be really
Yeah.
great.
So I should go in drag and play Ms. Marple, shave the beard.
Maybe. Hidden
I
identity, you
think
know.
he's guilty. Yeah.
Hidden identity, you know.
Hey, it's a gig. I'll take it. I love challenge. I love challenge. Okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, why not? Why not? And I talked to Roberta Spada from Spada Production. She want to produce a Western. What do you think about a Western?
I love westerns. I started acting because I wanted to do westerns, and then westerns weren't popular then, right?
So you would be
But
in for a Western vertical also?
I would jump to do it. I would say I'd do one for free, but I don't want this to get out. Okay. Um,
Okay, I keep.
but I know there are a couple of them filming right now.
Ah, that's nice.
Westerns. Well, you think about it, a man on a horse, that's vertical.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the duels, you know? You
Oh
see
God,
one
the
from the
gunfights.
behind.
From the feet up, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Through the legs.
I
Yeah,
feel it.
yeah. I used to do stunts and shootouts when I was started out my career. I did
Okay.
27 shows a week where for live audiences in Old Tucson, which was a Western park. And I got shot off a rooftop and got shot off a horse and got in barroom brawls and got a six-gun
Okay,
shooter.
so you're experienced enough for a Western vertical.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I still
Yeah.
do my own stunts.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how much
That
longer, but I do now.
you will do much longer. I'm sure of it. I want to thank you really for your time and for this really nice conversation. It was so much fun, so much pleasure.
My pleasure hearing you talking too. It's nice to be able to have a chat.
Hope seeing you in a lot of more verticals. The next 31 to go.
Yeah, I look forward to that. I'm gonna at least reach 100 before I stop this stuff. But so 100
You
years
keep on.
old and 100 verticals. How about that?
Why not? Sounds good for me.
All right. And you can keep checking on me. Well, John, you're now 70 and you still need to be 40 more.
Yeah,
So.
you're kind of behind that. And I will check out what I can do because of the Western vertical, okay?
Yeah. But I think we're both on the same page regarding the watching all of this rise in quality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So it was really nice. I wish you a wonderful day and hopefully we talk sometime again.
Well, you know where to find me, and I've got your number, Michaela. So I look forward to
Absolutely.
talking to you more. All right. Thanks so much for spending time with me.
Thank you. Bye. This is a wrap on this episode, and I hope you tune in again.